All righty, there he is, locked and loaded. We need that judge robe so we can put him in a judge robe. By the way, and the wig, and a wig. We need a wig. We need that
and a wig and the mallet, not the
and the mallet.
Gavel. That's what it's called.
The gavel, exactly. We need the gavel. So, listeners, let's go. Let's dress him up for some of these segments because at home he can wear the judge. He can't do it at Dolphins camp, but when he's at home. Come out in the judges thing every once in a while, you know.
When you cool. When you see the robe, you know the particularly spicy takes are coming. The real heat is coming.
That shit'll go viral if you're actually wearing a wig and a robe. That shit's gonna go viral, bro. People are gonna be tripping out with that, bro. It's gonna be awesome. We'll do it. We'll do it. You'll see. Eventually, it'll come in. It'll happen because we have the best listeners on the planet. All right. The chosen one is in town. Your thoughts on the chosen one now, Robbie Anderson?
Yeah, sure. You know, like it's low risk, high reward. Right. Obviously, we have seen what he looks like when he is not motivated to play. That's what happened in Arizona, but bad situation in Arizona. I'm willing to write that off. Bad situation in Carolina with poor quarterback play. I'm willing to write that off as well.
But he's also done some dumb stuff on his own to put himself in bad positions.
He has put himself. He hasn't helped himself out. But we have seen what he can do even on a dysfunctional Jets team. He can still be a 700 to 900 yard receiver with a decent quarterback. And Teddy Bridgewater in 2020, he was 1,000-yard receiver on 95 catches. So like he has wide receiver 2 potential there. He will not be wide receiver 2 here. Let's be very clear about that. But he's got an opportunity to really make some special things happen if he can stay tunnel vision. You know, I know he's coming back home. He's gotten in trouble back home before. But if he can stay tunnel vision here, there's an opportunity for him to really do something special because defenses can't afford to invest a lot of coverage into Tyreek and Jalen and account for Robbie Anderson's speed. It's not. Yeah. It's not possible.
And by the way, to his credit, he hasn't really been a knucklehead the last couple of years. He's been kind of, if I'm correct, I think he's kind of been on the straight and narrow and hasn't done any kind of stupid stuff. So maybe he's grown up already from his first few years. So
legally,
to his credit, okay, because he has the past. It's been the past. It hasn't been the present. It wasn't like he was doing something 3 months ago or 6 months ago or a year ago. I think he's kind of kept his nose clean for the last couple of years.
I don't know him personally. I've known people who've covered him. I think he's a little misunderstood. I don't think he's just a Florida guy, and I think a lot of guys up in New York.
Hey!
They're not used to that. That's with all due respect. It's a different culture up here or up there than it is down here. And I don't think guys in the big city were willing to try to understand him. That is how it was explained to me, that the effort was not made from a lot of media folk up north to try to understand him because he comes from a different type of culture than what they are used to. It's not uncommon in pro sports. It's not uncommon in the NFL. So that is my understanding of him. Like, I don't think he's inherently a knucklehead. I don't think he's a bad dude, a bad guy. Got in trouble.
He's been immature. He's been a bad dude.
Got in trouble early in his career. Off the field, as far as I know, he's been fine. Got into an argument with the position coach mid-game and got kicked out of the game in Carolina. That was what led to him being traded. We don't know what that argument entailed. But either way, I think they see, kind of like, not erratic behavior, but I think people see off-kilter behavior. They see him changing his name 2 times in like a year. They see him changing the spelling, going by chosen, and they think, oh, well, this guy's a weirdo. No, he's not. He's just a guy. He's just a guy, and he's a guy you don't understand. So I think, though, like if he is motivated to play and he brings his A game, he brings that, 2018-19 Jets, that 2020 Panthers, Robbie Anderson, chosen Anderson, then I think he's got an opportunity to do something special here. I had already penciled in Braxton Berrios as wide receiver 3. I think at their peak, Robbie Anderson is a better receiver. He's a bigger threat. So if both guys are bringing their A game, Robbie Anderson is wide receiver 3. Berrios is still going to return punts. He will have that. He will have that role he is a roster lock right now.
Right.
He's a lock because of what he can do in the return game. But as far as wide receiver goes,
I kind of thought Chosen is here because it's either one, a favor for somebody in the building, that the agent knows somebody in the personnel department and they're doing him a favor since he's a Miami guy, or two, here's Chris Greer saying, or Marvin or Reggie suggesting, saying, hey, man, listen, we're trying to trade Cedric. If we do trade Cedric, we really don't have somebody to play the outside that's kind of a taller receiver. So let's see if we sign Robbie just in case, if he screws his head on right and he's playing well and we are able to move Cedric, he's a nice insurance policy just in case we're able to move Cedric. If we don't, then, hey, man, we tried it, whatever. We're not paying the kid much, so we're not risking anything. I almost think it's kind of an insurance policy or / favor, one of the two.
You know, I must have forgotten the real gritty details of Cedric Wilson's contract, but 3 years, $22 million. Let me see. It's a $7 million dead cap hit if they get rid of him. It's kind of hard to it's gonna be kind of hard to find a trade partner. I think Omar alluded to it earlier today that he's got like $5 million guaranteed this year. $5 million of his 7 is guaranteed this year. It's going to be hard to find somebody who wants to take that contract for a guy who's kind of his claim to fame last year was a 50-yard kick return or a 50-yard punt return.
Yeah.
Do you remember any other Cedric Wilson plays?
No, there wasn't.
So it's hard. It's hard. He didn't have a good season last year. With all due respect, he didn't have a good season last year. He's been in the lab. He's been on the field with Tua and Tyreek and Jalen and Alec. Up in Broward, all off season, trying to kind of get that chemistry back. He's still in the running for wide receiver 3 too. He's still he's still a good receiver.
I don't blame him for last year, to be honest. I think he was just in a really difficult situation with everything that happened by McDaniel acquiring guys that he knew the system already and were really comfortable. And they had an edge over him. And then the top two guys get the ball so much that there just wasn't really a lot left over for everybody else.
It's not. And it's so we say wide receiver 3. It's not going to be that big of a role, but I think that role has opportunity for big gains, if that makes sense. You're not going to have a consistent.
This is why I asked you.
But
this is why I asked you and all the guys last week. I remember I asked you this question. I said, will wide receiver 3 be one guy or will it be a situational thing? And that's why I strongly feel that because of Hill and Waddle, it makes everybody else situational. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is.
I mean, when you got two guys who can combine for 3,000 freaking receiving yards in any given season, then he's going to be it is what it is. Like you're gonna have to deal with the scraps. But
how do you take Waddle or Hill off the field on any freaking down, bro? You can't. It's irresponsible because they scare the shit out of defenses just with their presence alone because they know that they have to worry about those two guys. So it opens it up for everybody else. So that's the reason why those two guys are always going to get it. And that's why I thought it was a good question to ask you guys because I don't think we think about this that much. And that's why I look at the third receiver as a guy that's going to be a situational thing, depending on the down and the distance and where you're at on the field and the moment of the game. And then that's what he's going to feel like. You know what? Ezukama's better for this moment. Berrios is better for this moment. Cedric Wilson will be better for this moment. I just think that's kind of the way it's going to go, unfortunately, for the third receiver.
Hey, we're in a short yard. It's 3rd and 3. Let's get Berrios in there. Run a quick out, run a speed out, run a quick slant, run something short area of the field, get him the ball fast, in case defenses overcommit to Hill and Tyreek. They've got a small package.
17-yard line. You want to do a fade pattern in the end zone.
Let's throw Robbie Anderson in there. Chosen Anderson. It's going to take a minute. Let's throw Chosen in there. Let's throw Set in there. Let's try to elevate. It could, like I said, I don't think it's not like wide receiver 3 is going to have like 600 or 700 receiving yards, but like they're going to be big opportunities. You know, like wide receiver 3 might have 2 catches, but one of them was a 30-yard catch and run, or one of them was a touchdown. One of them was a critical first down on a third down conversion. So there is room for a big role, but it's not going to be big statistically. It's going to be big kind of situationally.
By the way, better name change. Meta World Peace. Chosen. Ocho Cinco. Didn't he change it again after that?
He changed it back.
If
I'm not mistaken, yeah, he changed it back.
Didn't he have like another name besides Ocho Cinco? God, I want to say he changed it to oh no, it was Meta. Meta was something else before Meta World Peace, right?
Didn't Adam Jones change his name officially to Pac-Man?
No, but that was a nickname he had. Oh, I don't know. Did he like legally change
it? That's what I'm saying. Like, did he legally?
Oh, I didn't know that. But he already had that nickname forever. So that guy, that was a nickname before it became a name. So I'm just going with names. Okay.
I didn't like
Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, Chris, God, what was his last name? Chris Anderson, was it? No, I don't think so.
No, that was Birdman.
Yeah, it was Birdman. But anyway, the guard, what was his name out there? Somebody help me out. So can you come up with another one that I haven't mentioned? What's your favorite name change so far?
I think Ocho Cinco was hilarious because it's not even like
a name.
It's not even technically correct. As I don't gotta tell y'all, like it's not how you say 85. It's just, that's what made it funnier. Like I thought that was classic. That was classic. To the point. Matter of fact, I had a friend in high school. He wore number 85, and anytime I would see him from across campus, I would just start hollering out "Ocha!" and he would just like sit there and stop and like pose, no matter what he was doing, who he was talking to, where he was at. It did not matter. It was like a mix between Ocho Cinco and then Nacho Libre had just come out. And so like I always have that. I always have fond memories of Ocho Cinco because of that. Adrian McFalls, man, I gotta look him up. I don't know what I don't know what he's been up to.
Actually, Drago did come up with one because World Be Free. He did name himself. Mm-hmm. He is correct. He did name himself World Be Free. That's actually pretty good. World Be Free.
I did not. I don't know. I didn't like Meta World Peace because I thought it was kind of corny. I mean, but I will respect it because of what Ron Artest did for the Sacramento Kings. Took them from like the 12th seed to the 7th seed or something like that. As soon as he got traded for Peja, I respect him forever for that. Like he always has. I hope to see him in Sacramento for one of these games because he wasn't there long, but we appreciate him for sure, even though he did go to the Lakers afterward.
Lloyd Bernard Free, born Lloyd Bernard Free back in December 9th of 1953, changed his name to World Be Free. It was World Bernard Free. And so he was also known as the Prince of Midair, the Brownsville Bomber, and then, of course, also called often All World. But I got to go. World Be Free is pretty good. That one challenges Chad Ochocinco. That was good by Drago. I forgot about World Be Free.
And like I'm trying not to weigh in on names changed for religious purposes, like Kareem. Kareem obviously.
Oh, I left that one out. But I left Kareem Abdul-Jabbar out and Muhammad Ali out. But Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, that one sounds like awesome.
Like to be fair, nobody knows like the difference between these and the other. Like people knew who Chad Johnson was before he changed his name to Chad O'Shea. Ron Artest before Meta World Peace. Like you can't nobody. And I might be dating myself here, but I would say most of the world knows Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or knows him by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, not by Lou Alcindor.
Lou Alcindor, right? Yeah.
Which that was him in college, right? So you would have had to have known
high school. I think he was already changed by college, right? Or was it like?
I thought it was in college.
No, I think he did do it at UCLA. Yes, you are correct. I think he did do it at UCLA.
Like you got to be a sports nerd to like really to know that. Even though it sounds obvious, it's obvious to us who love sports. Like it's not. He transcends sports to a point where people who don't really like basketball know who Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is. Like they know the name. If you told them Lou Alcindor, they'll be like, I don't know. I don't know. Who is he? Did he just get drafted? Like no one knows that. So and then Cassius Clay. You can forget that Muhammad Ali's original name, born name, was Cassius Clay because the world knows him as Muhammad Ali. So, and
by the way, that's actually another really cool name, Muhammad Ali.
And so, but actually, technically, does that not make those the greatest name changes? If you don't even remember their birth name, if you only know them,
I do. I'm old enough to remember, but again, that is a religious thing. Wasn't as
it's not as just like whimsical as
right. Yes.
Ocho Cinco.
It's a good adjective.
You know, there's got to be categories. There's got to be levels to it, right?
Yeah, because that's like some serious shit. You know what I mean? Like that actually means something. There's a reason why they're changing their name to Muhammad Ali and Mahmoud Abdul Rauf and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. There's actual like real reasons for it. You know, when you're changing it to World Be Free or Ocho Cinco or Chosen or whatever, it's like, come on, bro. We can have fun with that one. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but interesting. All right, your thoughts on Dalvin Cook and the Dolphin Nation? I don't know, wasting their time with this.
I wouldn't trade for him. I'll
never trade for anybody pretty much at running back. So
no, like don't trade for him. Like if he is available via trade, he is available on free agency because they will cut him if he's not traded.
Right.
I'm okay with that. Which, if I remember correctly, Alexander Mattison signed with the Bears, didn't he?
Yes.
So who the hell is their running back if they let Dalvin Cook go?
Oh, the Madison kid, right? Isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. I thought he signed with the Bears, but I could be wrong.
Did he sign? You know what? I forgot it. Did he sign with the Bears?
Chat, can you Google that real quick? I don't pay super close attention to NFC North, but I do know like they all were like passing running backs around. Like there was like a meme about it. Because Montgomery went from the Lions, Montgomery went from the Bears to the Lions, I think. And so I thought Madison signed with the Bears. I thought he signed elsewhere, but I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, then yeah, they should release Dalvin Cook yesterday.
No, they have Alexander Madison still.
Okay, he's still there?
So he's the guy.
And who did the Bears just sign?
Let me see. I'll tell you right now. Give me 1 second.
Either way, while you look that up.
They signed Donta Foreman, bro. And they have Khalil Herbert, which has been there for a couple years. And they have UM's own Travis Homer.
Not that any of those matter. Justin Fields is going to run for 900 yards next year. But I think once they release Dalvin Cook, I am open to bringing him on board for the right price. Like you're not paying him $15 a year. It depends on what he's looking for. If that's it, then
if he's looking for money, he's not coming here.
Exactly. Like if you want to come, if you're serious about joining an offense where you can really thrive, joining a team in the city where you grew up and finishing your career in your hometown, by all means, Dolphins extend the hand.
Yeah. Chris Greer is going to want low-hanging fruit, so he's not going to. He doesn't spend big on running backs, and he doesn't trade big picks for running backs. The kind of move he makes is the one you saw last year with Jeff Wilson, a 5th-round pick. Draft somebody late.
I don't disagree, but I think Dalvin, if available.
No, you're right. But again, if Dalvin wants to sign, he's going to have to sign for less here compared to other places. But if he's trying to make up the salary that he's going to lose now in Minnesota, he's not going to make it up here in Miami. They're not going to do it. I know they're not going to do it because until Chris Greer shows me that he's willing to actually spend on running backs, I'm not believing it. I just won't.
Yeah, he doesn't. Like we said last time I was on the show, he hasn't spent more than a 7th-round pick on a running back since 2016. This is not really his. Right. It's not a position I think he is willing to invest capital into. But I think we could have said the same thing for this 49ers organization and they went out and got Christian McCaffrey and it changed their entire offense. So I think McCaffrey's a better player than Cook right now. He's a better player than Cook right now, and a little slightly different
I think it has to do with their quarterback too. They don't have a quarterback that can overcome having a decent running back. They have the quarterbacks that you need to be exceptional all over the place, so they don't have to carry the offense. They just have to facilitate. And I think that that's why they made the sacrifice of making the McCaffrey move, because they have a young quarterback at that point. Or if they bring in Trey Lance or whatever, that's why they have all these weapons to make the life of the quarterback a lot easier. Now, when you have a much better quarterback like a Tua or a franchise guy, your quarterback, your running back doesn't have to be the man. You know what I mean? He can just be a facilitator overall.
And so I think that I think it'd be a home run addition here. Yeah. He's still, he had, I think, a down year in terms of like EPA per carry, but he's still got home run speed, man. The Dolphins saw it. He broke like a 60-yard run. They had him boxed up for the most part until that late run to seal it this year. Right. He still had, I think, an 80-yard touchdown against the Colts, and that insane comeback, that like 33-point comeback or whatever, should have gotten Saturday fired instantly. Like, it's again, if he's available at the right price, don't turn your nose up at it. I think it's a great addition. I'm not paying $10 million a year for Dalvin Cook, though. That's the thing. I'm not paying 10 million.
I can guarantee you that Chris Greer ain't paying $7. Okay.
It just again depends on giving him an incentive laden deal to where you hit certain barometers, and we can add some escalators into your contract to maybe sweeten the pot a bit. Sure, but until then, I think they are happy with what they've got, and this is kind of what I've noticed about this coaching staff for the past 2 years. If they think their personnel is a problem, you see it change drastically. They didn't like their edge rushers. They trade for Chubb. They didn't like the receivers. They trade for Tyreek. They needed a left tackle. They got Toronto. Like, they will make a splash when they think something needs improvement, but they're not afraid to just coach them up. That's why we didn't see dramatic changes on the offensive line over the past couple of years. Added Connor Williams, added Teron Armstead, but it wasn't wide scale change like people thought. 4 new starters were popping up because they just said, you guys weren't coached up right. Well, we got you. Yep. We got you from here. I think that's what we're seeing with the O-line. I think that's what they're seeing with what we're hearing about the running back room. Mike McDaniel told us, like, hey, most of it was 4.9 per carry. Wilson, 4.7 per carry. It's my fault. I didn't call enough runs. We abandoned the run too many times. The problem's not with the personnel. So I don't think they're shopping for a running back, but I think if oh man, what is his name? His agent. I just was looking him up too.
You mean Cook's agent?
Yeah, Cook's agent.
Hiller or
Zach Hiller? Yeah, Hiller. I think it's Zach Hiller. If Hiller hits up Chris Greer, said, "Hey man, we'll come at a discount." He just wants to be a Dolphin. Then you start talking. But I just, based on, he's got an interview I think he did on I found it on Twitter, but it doesn't sound like he's going to be a Viking for very much longer.
Oh no, yeah. It looks like he's Well, the agent's already ripping the team that he was playing with his shoulder, and now that he's got both shoulders fixed and all that, and so he was ripping into him. Knight, thank you for the love on the super chat, but Prime does not count, my man, because Dion, that's a nickname, and somebody else is using the fridge. The nicknames are not names, guys. Okay, we're talking with the idea was people that literally changed their name, their legal name to this. So nicknames are not part of the conversation, but I appreciate it. All right, what do you got going on ESPN so Dolphin fans can check you out, my man?
Well, preparing for some pre-draft questions. We're getting ready for it next weekend. But we get to speak with Chris Greer this week. I don't know if I'm at liberty to say which day. They usually don't like us saying that. But we speak with Chris Greer. We speak to the assistant general manager as well, Alan. And, going to have some of their thoughts on record, what they're looking for in the draft. 4 picks. I don't think that this team has let me put it this way. I don't think that this team has needs that are going to be instantly plugged by the draft. So I'm expecting a BPA approach from Chris Greer once again. It would make the most sense, especially at 51 and 84, the late rounds. I am not wasting brain power on deciding, who's going to be there, who's going to take, this guy and that guy. There are millions, maybe even billions of possible board combinations by the time they pick in the 6th round. I will reevaluate around round 5.
It's ridiculous.
I'll reevaluate round 5. I'm gonna start caring about that right now.
By the way, although I will say that if the tight end can make a quicker transition, that is the one spot that in that 3rd or 4th round you could, or the 2nd or 3rd round, you could end up with a starter that could end up really changing the team. The tackle, if they would get a tackle in the 2nd or 3rd, he's probably going to be a little bit more of a project / you hope for the best that he can make a transition right away. But normally guys like that are going to take a little bit to kind of transition. But the tight end,
that's the thing too. With tight ends, rookie tight end, we saw it with Kyle Pitts, and really that's about it as far as rookie tight ends that made just an explosive impact right away. I think TJ Hawkins
helped Matt Ryan. It helped that he had Matt Ryan that first year, because look how he suffered setback this past year when he didn't have the veteran quarterback.
It is the hardest. You ask anybody, tight end is the hardest position to transition from college to the NFL. So I wouldn't rely, even a high tight end, I wouldn't rely on a high-end tight end or highly picked tight end beating out Durham Smythe. I think they like him a lot. I think they like Austin Jackson a lot. I think they like him a lot. I don't think they pick up his option because he hasn't proven he can stay healthy enough or sustain high level play long enough to be locked into that.
And they shouldn't.
They shouldn't. But I think they still believe in Austin Jackson. I think obviously it's not a hot take to say this is his last chance because this is the last year of his rookie deal. But this is his last audition year. You stay healthy, you put together some consistent tape, and you will be a Dolphin in 2024.
I'm with you there. All right, follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ and catch him twice a week here doing his thing with our Welt and Rheaume Miami Dolphins reports. As always, thank you, my brother. We will catch up later on in the week. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
You got it. There you go. Marcel Louis Jacques. And again, for those of you, especially in the Broward County area, but of course, anywhere in South Florida, down to the Keys, if you're dealing with homeowner property damage, condo damage, you name it, folks, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, call Jeff Welt and Daniel Rheaume, Welt and Rheaume. They are in Hollywood, and they've been here for well over 20 years, taking down these insurance companies. I know, because I saw it firsthand when we had a bunch of kids go through our wall and Progressive Insurance was trying to just rip us off. All these insurance companies are great at collecting your premium. Yeah, they want to collect that every month for sure. But when they've got to pay, oh, dude, it's like pulling teeth. And Welt and Rheaume freaking crush Progressive. So those of you out there right now that are dealing with all kinds of water damage and you're dealing with these insurance companies, in fact, you shouldn't even call the insurance company. You call Welt and Rheaume first. They send out their adjusters and they contact the insurance company. And when it's an attorney contacting the insurance company, oh, they get their attention, baby. And they get their attention really good right away. So if you want to get paid and you want to get what you deserve, you call Welt and Rheaume. Save it on the cell phone. You may not need it today. You might need it next month. You might need it a year from now. 954-966-4646.